Welcome back. Bus company Intercape has told members of parliament that taxi operators have been trying to extort it. Its lawyer made a presentation with a video showing live footage of gunmen firing shots at buses and drivers. The company says it has not received any help from the police. Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, General Shadrack Sibiya, joins us for more. General, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. So, as I've already stated there, the lawyers of Intercape presenting to Parliament yesterday presented a number of evidence in which they're saying they have not been assisted with regards to arrests. In fact, they make mention of 200 cases, whereas SAPS is aware of 76. Just talk us through where the disconnect is with regards to Intercape and the cases that they've reported, and how far are the police within some of these investigations?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. All I can say is that the object of the South African Police Service is to prevent and to combat crime and to protect the inhabitants of South Africa. And as the South African Police Service, we've been doing exactly that. If I can tell you that it is not entirely correct that the South African Police Service haven't been doing anything in relation to this case. Cases were registered and the police attended to those cases. And that is why you will have some of the cases at the DPP's office, and in some instances, people were arrested and the complainant themselves withdrew cases. In some instances, the police acted, but the complainant were not willing to. When I talk about the complainant, I'm talking about witnesses who were not really willing to come forward. Remember, if it involved the taxi industries and the passengers in the bus will tell you that, look, we don't want to get involved in this process. So the police have been doing their work, and I cannot sit here and say we really agree with the fact that police did not do their work. There's no way the South African Police Service will not react or respond when crime is reported.
And why do you think that is the sentiment that Intercape currently has? I mean, they make mention of giving dash cam videos and certain evidence to the police that has been sitting with the police for more than 3 years with no arrests having been effected.
No, people have been arrested, and some have been, let's say for an example, the video that was played. We arrested. I mean, there was a J50 warrant of arrest, and the person that was supposed to be arrested died. It's not like it's entirely correct that the police did absolutely nothing. There was investigation conducted. Someone was identified. The J50 warrant of arrest was issued, and that person died. That evidence is there.
Right. So, I mean, General, there's also something that was mentioned within these discussions, and this had to do with the correct form being filled out, and that some charges could not have been opened simply because Intercape had not filled out a form that was headed organized crime. Just talk to us about the differences in forms in which what needs to be filled out in order for investigations to start.
There is no such a form that needs to be filled, whether organized crime or any other particular crime that you report. When you report crime, and the police duty is to obtain a statement and register a case, and the case will be investigated. In this particular instance, we are trying to find out as to these allegations that are made by the advocate. Where do they come from? Because we ask all the provinces that are involved, and we can't come across any of such. And now we're saying, okay, let us approach legal service to give us that statement that apparently was made in court, because we don't have such from where we are sitting. I don't have that. And I put a team together to say, mention was made of this form that was supposed to be filled, or a statement was submitted in defense of the police. Where is that statement? Can we see it? I'm sitting with legal services in front of me. There isn't.
So would you say just in general there are some common reasons as to why there would be delays or a lack of progress when it comes to the investigation, particularly of organized crimes?
No. You must know that you're dealing with a situation where if kids are playing on the street or as a bus pass by, the kids are stoning at the bus. Sometimes you find that it's just your common what do we call it? When they stone at that bus as it passes, and sometimes it's your malicious damage to property. But sometimes you'll find that if the buses operate at night and it gets stoned or attacked from a distance, the drivers themselves cannot identify the perpetrators. And as a result, you find that most of these cases that have been referred to will be your intimidation or your intentional damage to property or malicious damage to property. But where there are cases, clear cases where, for an example, mention was made of money that was deposited into the account or videos played, those investigations are proceeding.
Right. So, I mean, General, within these presentations, the police have spoken about preventative policing that they have done on some of the bus routes. Was this taken forward in terms of, because you realize that this is quite prevalent with regards to some of these long-distance buses, that you did take those measures in ensuring that you put in those preventative systems?
Yes, that is why no incidents since this matter was reported. We have taken those preventative measures. We've deployed adequately. We're working together with the companies that are involved. We're patrolling the hotspot areas. We're escorting them where there's a need. That's why there are no incidents.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, General Commissioner, and just clarifying some of those issues put forward there by Intercape with regards to some of the cases that they claim the SAPS has not adhered to. And of course, some members of parliament seeming quite shocked, being lost for words, that some of those videos were horrifying that they saw of some of these buses being attacked on some of those routes. Thank you so much for your time. That was the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, General Shadrack Sibiya.